What's going on? Welcome to Classy Tacos. Thanks for stopping by. If it's your first time here, thanks for stopping by. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you've been here a while, man, I appreciate it because I know I'm a pain in the ass, so just thanks for hanging out with me. So new or old, thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to get into installing this Pormido, it's like a dash cam kit. I went with this kit, so currently I run a Garmin Mini, and I haven't had any issues with it, so I just thought it was time for an upgrade. I feel like lately people have been driving a lot worse than I remember. So this specific kit comes with a camera that records forward, backward, and then inside of the cab, so I like that a lot. Thought it'd be good for daily driving, and then also like out on the trails, it'd be kind of fun to get, every view, and then inside the cab on some gnarly trails and stuff like that, just to see what you're going through. So it'd be fun kind of all around. And I'm a big fan of if you're going to do something and change it, you might as well upgrade. So that's where we're at here, and we landed here. Another big positive for me, since I have my spare tire in the bed, my rearview mirror kind of taken up pretty big by the spare tire. Kind of takes up all of it almost. Well, with this goes over the mirror, and it's like a screen that covers your mirror. And I'm planning on putting the rear camera up on the Prinsu, so it'll be over on top of the tire, right? And that way, now when I look in my rearview mirror when I'm driving, I get the recording of everything beyond the tire, right? So I no longer have the tire in the way. So that should work out really good for me. If you don't have a tire in the way, it won't be that big of a deal. But depending on where you mount, your rear view camera, it's kind of pretty cool, because if you mount it out of the cab, right, when you're looking at the rear view mirror, you're not looking through the cab anymore, which is kind of cool and kind of interesting. So it's just something a little bit different. We're going to get into that today. It shouldn't be too bad, I hope. Just running the lines to where I want to mount the camera might be a pain, as usual, but we'll work it out. What else? So I think we're good. Let me just get you on the bench. We'll go open the box, and we'll go through the box and kind of check out everything that's in the box. All right, so this is the box that it came in. So here, smart streaming video mirror dash cam. Just pull that up. Nice. Oh, that's nice. Well, it's not very heavy, which is kind of nice, but you can tell it's already way larger than the mirror right now, than the stock mirror. So that's nice. So to the side, open this up. Let's get this out. So what do we got here? Oh, if you want to purchase some extra options, nice. Manual. This is your wiring to your outdoor cam, or I shouldn't say outdoor. This is for the reverse cam. So this is the link for all three cameras, and that's going to go into the mirror. This looks like your GPS unit. It says GPS, so I'm going to assume it's your GPS unit. This looks like your in-cabin camera. This one's going in the cab. Nice. This one looks like your front camera, and then I'm guessing, yeah, this is the wiring for the front camera. And then, a bunch of various mounting options, a cleaning cloth, and they even give you a nice film to throw over it in case when you get two of these films, in case you get too much glare. So, and I gotta dig that. That was pretty cool. So nice. That's everything in the box. Let's get this install started. Just attaching these here so that they are ready to go, and then just to make it easy and I can see where this is, I'm gonna go ahead and put the AV right here, and we might be able to hook up all three of these cameras and hide these connections inside of the headliner, and that way you're only gonna see this. This line right here for the power, I'm still going to use the same Donglar Technologies power to get power right from my rearview mirror. So I should power up right here with no issues, and then that's the spot for your GPS, which I'll run that in the cab, and we'll hook that one up next. So let me get you in the cab, we'll get this thing set up, and then we'll start running our wires. Alright, so I just tucked the GPS right here and kind of ran it, so it's kind of just tucked back in here, and this is your GPS line kind of hanging here. This is the power cord coming from the Donglar Technologies adapter, so no more big power cord. So here's an idea of kind of the differences. You can see just how much bigger it is, how much wider it is. In order to get this up there, the first thing we're going to do is just kind of grab one of these little clips. They're rubber. You're going to kind of take them, get them around. It's nice and pretty tight. Just like that. You're going to do the same thing over here. It's doable. Just gotta fight the rubber. There it is. All right, and then kind of just line that up where you want. So essentially, that's what you're gonna end up with right there. Once we get the cameras plugged in, I'll probably end up tucking everything behind the headliner. This guy, nothing we could do about this one. You gotta have this one obviously plugged in. That's your power source, so no way around that. And then your GPS is right there. So you will kind of have, you know, connections up at the top that not really anything we can do anything with. But once I get the cameras hooked up, we'll see about running everything up in the headliner and figure it out from there. For now, I'm going to leave this like this. We're pretty much, you know, kind of set up and done here. I'm going to go ahead and put you in the back, and we'll kind of place the rear camera, and then we'll do the wiring for the rear camera. We'll take it from there. All right. So if you have a rack, any type of rack, doesn't have to be this one. You got a ton of options here, okay? You can pretty much put it anywhere on this kind of rack where you want. The one thing that you do need to consider is that this particular camera on this kit cannot go this way. That'd be like super easy, right? It has to go kind of at this angle, and it doesn't have the ability to be flipped anywhere else. So for me, I want it kind of right in here and kind of pointed down just a little bit, okay? Now, the issue that I'm going to run into is that this doesn't fit in here. It's like a very kind of a close, kind of a tight fit. So what we're going to end up doing, and I got to be honest with you guys, I'm not very picky about this. I know some of you guys will be more picky, but I'm going to get this here like this. And that way I can kind of pry up on this bar just enough, a little, just like that, so that I can kind of get the camera right where I want it and not like push it up into the roof. Do this. We'll do like one kind of a quick little test fit before we actually like remove any of the tape. See? Kind of dig that right there. It's not bad. Kind of dig that. It'll stay nice and tight. The only issue is, will it actually kind of, I want to be able to see at least the top of the tailgate. So, you see that good? Yeah. So what I'm going to end up doing is just leaving that like that before we actually permanently put it in place and anything, or like permanently run any wiring, because what I want to do is get it all on and install them at the rear view mirror. And that way I can definitely see where this camera is pointing and see how we need to tweak it. But for now, I'm going to leave it like this and run the rear camera wire, because that's going to be the biggest pain. So I did want to show you guys how I do this, because there's potentially like a ton of different ways to run this wire. This is just what I like and what kind of works for me, right? So starting over here, I haven't got this area done yet, but I'm coming down the A-pillar behind the fender here, so it's tucked back in here. Then you got a bunch of options over here. You can either just kind of come above right here and kind of bring it over. I don't like that. This looks a little cleaner what I'm doing. If you look, you see the wire behind that mounting point right there. It runs behind it, behind this hinge, behind this mounting point down in here. You see that? And then inside of the connector for your door like harnesses, right? If you take a pry tool, and just pop this way a little bit, slide it through there, it will end up back right behind this piece, right? So all you're doing is just, you can easily pop this off, and you see it right there. Then from there, once you pop this on, you're going to follow this line, just all the way back up into your headliner. And that way you have a nice clean entry into the cab, and nobody sees it. So it kind of works out pretty good that way. I'm going to wrap this up and get it over to the camera, and then we'll work on the outside. All right, guys, so check this out. There was a couple things that I did kind of off camera just to make sure I could wire everything up. I did remove the overhead console, and I ran a lot of my wiring through there and then back in here. So that's why it does look, there's still a lot of wires here, but it's not that messy. It's not that bad. Let me also start off by saying that this is not the first one that I've tested. I tested another one. This is way better than the other one that I tested. So just to give you an idea of how good it is, this is the back camera, right? And here is, let me see if I can get you. So back camera, what I thought was amazing that the other camera didn't do is you can adjust like where you're videoing. So you can adjust where you're recording. Also, you can adjust your, let me see if I can get you. So I'm gonna get out of record for a second. You can adjust your brightness, which, I mean, dude, no other cameras that I know of will let you kind of slide the camera and where you want to look at, because that's pretty freaking awesome. So that's the rear view. So this is the view that it's pretty much always just gonna be in while I'm driving around, and you can see both you know, the end of the tailgate and the corners, and now you're not looking through the car, which is, you know, pretty dope. Come into here, we're gonna switch. That's your front view. Same thing here, up and down, so not terrible. You just kind of set it up where you want it to go. And then what you got inside, this is awesome. And then here too, you can, you know, you go up and down. Man, I look terrible. But yeah, you can go up and down here, which is kind of cool. So, you know, right now, I got the camera right here. When you are, you know, recording this, or you're going through some tough lines or some cool trails, you know, you're going to be able to see in here, which is kind of interesting. So let me get you back here. And then you got the option of all three. Obviously, all three of them on, you know, the rearview mirror is going to kind of warp them a little bit, but no real complaints there. That's where it's going to stay for me, just like that. So right off the bat, I feel like this one was way better than the last one I tested. I will say though, you know, I have no idea how long it's going to last, and you know how good it is at the recording. So I haven't actually played with any of the software settings in here or anything like that, so I don't know the firmware or what you can do with it yet. But I might just do an update on that later. For now, it's in and done. And looking at that right there, I am super happy that my tire is no longer in the way. I have a clear shot at everybody behind me. So if you have any questions, make sure to drop them down below. I will put all the links below. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys stay safe out there.